There's not very many people on, which is totally fine. This will be really nice and intimate, and you'll be able to ask a ton of questions. Um, but while I have a few of you on, I'm not sure if I'm like what I'm doing incorrectly, but I'm trying to work it out. So I sent out two surveys over the last like 2 weeks. One is for the KAB conference. It's basically just three questions. Are you going and do you want to go to an affiliate dinner? And then there's like some restaurant choices. So of everyone that's on, is has everyone filled out that survey yet? And are you having problems with it?
Hey, Sherry, this is Dwayne. I received it and filled it out.
Great. Thank you, Dwayne. Are you going to the conference, Dwayne?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Excited to see you. What about everyone else that's on? Anyone else want to jump in and tell me if you're having problems?
This is Rhonda Harvey. I filled out both of them.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, so that goes into the next one. The other questionnaire I sent out, I will say is much more important if you want free stuff from Keep Florida Beautiful. If I do not get this filled out from you, there's nothing I can do to help you send out stuff. Once I start ordering and sending stuff out, I'm not going to be going back through and individually ordering a ton of stuff. I might do 2 rounds just in case, but I'd really like to get as much of it done in 1 round as possible. Is anyone having an issue with the secondary survey? And if you haven't filled it out, I highly recommend just getting it done this week as soon as possible. Anyone? Questions, concerns? Dwayne, did you fill out that other one?
I'll check and make sure I did. I'm looking for it right now just to make sure.
Okay. And I can put it in the chat if that will be helpful. I can put both of them in the chat so you don't have to dig around. I'm happy to do that. But that one arguably is way more important. Kenneth, how about you? Have you filled out that one? I feel like you told me you're not going to conference because you guys are just like slammed, but were you able to fill out the free stuff? Okay, good. Thank you. Tammy from Wakulla, how about you? Were you able to fill out the free stuff?
I did.
Okay, excellent. Are you going to conference?
No, ma'am.
Okay, no worries. Always keep in mind that if it's a funding issue, Keep America Beautiful has brought back their I know it's probably a little too late now for people to be making decisions, but if it's ever a funding issue, KFB will help you get to either the annual conference or for KFB or the annual
You
conference for
have,
KAB.
you don't have a list of hire dates for
And
employees, for officers, do
KAB
you?
just brought back
Dammit, dammit, dammit. I mean,
their
whatever.
scholarship program, so they're also offering help to get people to conference. So keep that in mind, everyone. All right, so we will go ahead and get started. Bear with me, I have to pull something back up. Here we go. So this Canva tutorial will guide you through the platform's core features from creating designs to using templates and customizing text and images. You'll learn how to use Canva's drag and drop tools, access its extensive library, and develop a branding kit. By the end, you'll be able to create stunning visuals for any project from social media posts to presentations. So if any of you have not had the wonderful chance to meet Rain Thormordson. Welcome, Rain. Thank you so much for being willing to give us a tutorial on Canva. And just a reminder, Canva is free for nonprofits. So if you are the beneficiary of a nonprofit KFB affiliate, then you should have it for free. And if you're not getting it for free, I can send out that link again as well. Just tell me in the chat if you'd like it. But I will go ahead and send it over to Rain. And Rain is with Keep Orlando Beautiful for reference. And Rain, if you'd like to introduce yourself, please feel free.
So my name's Rain. I'm with Keep Orlando Beautiful. I'm our community service specialist. And prior to this, I also worked with Keep Manatee Beautiful during an internship. I have a few years of middle school science teacher experience, and I've been using Canva for almost 10 years, which is crazy to think about. I did my undergrad at FSU and I took a social media management course in 2016, and that's my first introduction to Canva. It has had many changes, and we just did the nonprofit Canva Pro, so I feel unstoppable now. There's so many features. So I'm going to go through as though you've never used Canva before. If you want to pop in the chat, kind of your experience, scale 1 to 5. 1, never used Canva, not comfortable with it, no idea what's going on. 5, love it, use it, just here for fun. So I get a general understanding of where everybody is coming from. Solid 2, love. Okay. Some 2s, a 3, 2-ish, 3, 5, love. 3. Okay, so I'm just going to start with our homepage. If you want to pull up, if you have multiple screens or want to split screen and have Canva up on one side, I'm going to go through the main features on the homepage. So once you log in, you can pop in. If you have questions along the way and want to pop it in the chat, either Sherry or Madison, who's to this direction, if you want to just shout it out, because I probably won't be paying attention. But thank you. But
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it for you.
thank you. So once you get here, at the very top, it has search content. So whatever you're trying to design, you can kind of search for templates at the very top. Or if you're looking for something you've been working on, you can search for it up here and it'll pop up. So if you have a beach cleanup coming up and you want to do like a fun little bingo, you can see I've already searched it. You could do a beach bingo. And it'll pull up a bunch of different templates and kind of things that you can play off of already. Or if we're doing a fundraiser invite, it'll pull up templates, but it also recognizes I've done something in the past, a similar project. So this is a good just main feature to get you started on the platform. I'm going to go off to the left side over here is our home button. This is our home base. It'll take me back to this dashboard. So at the top, we have that search content. And then right here, we have a ton of buttons. And these are all the different types of projects you could work on, either flyers, calendar, a presentation, if you're doing a PowerPoint and you want to create it in Canva versus PowerPoint or Google Sheets. But you have a bunch of options here. Those are also going to show up when you go up to here on the left-hand side to create a design. So if we click that, we see those similar buttons up here, as well as different categories along this side. We'll talk more about this screen in a second. And then below our buttons, we have our recent designs. So these are some of the stuff that I make for Keep Orlando Beautiful. I also just keep my monthly calendar here. I like being able to type and make edits instead of crossing out with pen on paper. But so I can get our calendar here. If we've had, I'll show you some of what we've done. An event flyer here has our logo on here, some pictures, event details. We've made memes for social media on here where we have stuff for our late cleanup. So Canva can really be used for whatever project you're working on. We did our annual report. We just finished this up last month. And then once you make it in Canva, it can be downloaded PDF, JPEG, all different ways. Yeah, ooh, ah. And then our home button disappeared, but if you do open menu right there, it is back. We're going to click home. So these are just a few different examples of what you can use Canva for. So these are all of our recent designs. Even if it's making like table signs, games, invites. And then if we go off to our buttons over here, I'd already talked about our home button, projects. So this is everything you have on Canva. So before we just had our recent designs. If you go to projects, you can create folders if you are an organized person. I am not. I just go to my recent designs. You could have event flyers. You could have social media graphics, newsletter graphics, and kind of organize folders here. If you scroll back up to the top, you can click Add New on the right side, and then you can add a new folder. And then below is a list of all the designs, not just the recent ones. Any images that we've uploaded to the KOB Canva, And then lastly, videos. And at the very top, they also have tabs up here. This just takes you down to where it was before. So it's the same exact, but just in tab form. So that's your projects. Next is templates. So same as that search bar at the very top, this just takes you to all the templates that Canva has. And if you have the nonprofit Canva Pro, you have access to all of their templates. If you're on the free version, there's still plenty of free ones that are really good that you can use as like a jump start. But you'll notice this crown symbol right here. Those are just for pro Canva users. So you'd be able to use this. You'd be able to use this one on the free version or this one, but you wouldn't be able to use Canva Pro without the watermark coming across. But if you're nonprofit, you have Pro, so you're unstoppable and you can use whatever template you want. So if we wanted to do, let's say we have birthdays coming up. There's all these. You can just use this as a happy Earth Day to put on your Facebook or your Instagram. You can create an event using some of these templates, put it in your newsletter. Like this has the event date on there. So templates are a really easy starting point. And again, you'll see those crown symbols versus this one doesn't. So those are your templates. Next, we have brand. So we're going to go ahead and create a branding kit. This just allows it very easy access to your logos and your colors for your brand. And it'll pull colors from your logo. So you can see I already have ours here. We're going to start from scratch. So if you're following along on a different web browser on your Canva, we're on our left side here for brand. And then if you do have the free version, you won't have access to the branding kit because we can see the crown symbols there. But if you haven't gone for the nonprofit yet, I definitely recommend it. And then, like she said, this is being recorded, so you can come back and watch how to create that branding kit. So we're going to go over here to add new. I'm just going to label mine KOB. Click create. And then this is where we can upload our logo. So I'm going to add our logo. Ignore my mess of stuff. Here's our KOB logo. And you see how it automatically populates the colors from our logo here. So we have our KOB blue and the grayish color for the Keep America Beautiful affiliate wording at the bottom. And then you can additionally add other color palettes. I'm also going to add, we have an all white logo, so I'm going to add that in as well. Right here. And so once we start creating designs, you can always come back over to this menu here and click on your brand kit and your logos are there. And you can just, just easy access. So, and then it automatically populates the white color as well. For us, you can go ahead and go through and pick fonts that like align with your branding. I don't have this set up for us. I really just use it for the logo and the color palette. But if you wanted all of your titles in a certain font, you can click edit right here. Choose a font. I like Glacial Indifference. That is what I use for most of our stuff. So I could set all of these to Glacial Indifference and they'll automatically pop up and I don't have to change the font in the design. But I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm going to click the check mark to save it. And then if I wanted to change this, I would just come back to edit that font if I decided I don't like Glacial Indifference anymore and I want to go with something else. And if you're looking for different Canva fonts, if you go to Google and just type in Canva font combinations or Canva font ideas, it'll give you a bunch of different recommendations based on like what event you're doing or what your vibe you're going for is. Maybe you're doing a 90s trivia night. They'll give you some ideas of what fonts to use in Canva. So scrolling on down, we have brand voice. Canva has updated recently with a lot of AI stuff. I haven't personally used it yet. I just use my own voice on Canva. But if you would like to explore it, they do have brand voice where it magic writes stuff in a similar style for all of your branding. Next, if you have some key photos you like to use, you can add those here. Again, for us, we do have a graphic we use, which is the heron and the turtle, or if you have your own mascot for your affiliate, this is where you can add that graphic or maybe that photo. So for us, I'm going to add in our wetland image because we use that on a lot of our stuff. So this is all just a package really to help you easy access things that you're going to use constantly on all of your stuff. And same with icons you can add, but for us, we really just use graphic, the color palette, and our logos. So I don't know how many people are following along. Did everybody have questions about branding kit, or does it feel pretty user friendly?
We are we already have our branding kit in there because Savannah and Bianca were much more adept at Canva, but it does seem very user friendly, like following along. So
I agree. This is Linda Bell. We've got ours in there, and I'm following along for some new tips. Thank you.
Her. So yeah, Canva's really user friendly. I love it. It's pretty straightforward, but if you have questions, just let me know. So I'm going to go back, and now I have our new KOB branding kit. I have the one we already have as well. So as we go down, there's also apps in Canva. Again, something new. I haven't quite used many of these, but the one that is super duper helpful, you can scroll down, you can spend hours exploring all these apps. But generating QR codes is definitely something we use in our flyers or just having a table thing with follow us on Instagram, here's our QR code. So you could use this. There's also many websites that generate your QR codes, but it is nice that it's already in Canva. And next is Dreamlab. So this is all very much like AI created images. So you can kind of make whatever you want. You can see I already was experimenting with it earlier. So it's like group cleaning up at a beach. They do look a little creepy to me with all of their smiles. So I don't know if I'd recommend using the AI to create images, but could be useful if you're looking for something like a bucket of trash.
Might want to grab it before the so-called rain comes through between 1 and 4.
We have an open space office layout, so you might hear some other people wandering in. But so this is, you kind of use it as a description. So if you want to say like Florida beach with snow, let's see what pops up. It's generating. See, some of you might recognize this if you're in North Florida. I saw some crazy pictures of the snow up there. So it's kind of just, if this is useful for you, use it. I don't know. I feel weird about AI still. I'm getting used to it, but it is definitely something that's new. So I'm gonna go head back home, and we are gonna start on a design. So up here at the top, I'm gonna click create a design. And we're going to make an Instagram post. So these automatically pop up for me. I'm not sure on your page if these will automatically pop up. If it's based on what you use, what they recommend for you. If it's not there, you can go off to the left side and click on social media. And then it'll have all different sorts of social media formats that you can use and start designing. So for us, we're going to go with Instagram post in the square shape. It also lists out the pixel size for you. It'll take us into a new design. So for me, it already has some of my recently used as premium templates for you. And then all results. So these are all different templates that you can edit. Again, some have the crown for Canva Pro, some don't, based on what account you have. So for us, go ahead at the top. If you are following along, you can type in cleanup event. And I'm just going to go through some of our features editing one of these templates. So I'm going to click this one. Beige, blue, bold, illustrative beach cleanup event Instagram post. So if you want to pull that up and just go through some of the tools with me on the side. So I clicked off of everything into this gray space, so everything disappeared. To get back to our functions, you can hover back over these different buttons on the left side. We're going to start up here at design. This is where all of our templates are. Next, we have elements. This is where you would get these graphics, or you would get this little splotch right here. You get these waves. All of these would come from our elements tab here. So you can see some of the ones I frequently use: shapes, graphics, again, AI image generator. We have stickers, photos, videos. You can add audio if you're making a video to upload onto an Instagram story or Instagram reel. They have charge polls, tables, frames, grids. I use frames often. We'll explore those as well. And then next we have our text here. So in your brand kit, if you've added in fonts, you'll find those up here. If not, they have their basic heading, subheading, and body text, followed by either recently used text or different font combinations. So they'll give you some ideas of what you could add in here. Since we're using a template, we're just going to use the fonts that are already on this page. But if you really liked growth targets, you could click on it and it pops up automatically on your page for you to edit. So I'm going to go ahead and backspace, get rid of that. So that is our text. You have your branding kit here. So if I wanted to add the Keep Orlando Beautiful logo here at the top, I just click and drag, and these corner spaces just resize it for you. So I'm going to shrink it off to the side and add our logo at the top. I can do the same with the white if I preferred. And this just has everything we were talking about earlier with our branding. Uploads are going to be all of your photos, videos, audio that you're uploading on here. You can see we have a ton from Trash to Trends, as I'm making a lot of content for that recently. And we have some cleanup images. And from our other events that we use in our annual report, they all pop up here in your uploads. And I think I only have one video. Okay, the same video over and over again, just variations. But all your uploads will be here, and this is where you could click and drag in photos or add them to a frame. And then draw. I honestly don't use the draw feature. I'm always just uploading graphics or photos. But you could select your device, very user-friendly, erase, and add in if you wanted a little arrow to the crowd. Or if you're doing a collaborative project, you could use the draw features. At the very top, I'm going to use our back button here to get rid of that. And then close out of draw. And then projects, again, like our other menu, it just pulls up your past projects that you've been working on, as well as the apps we're familiar with. So going back, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these graphics. I'm just going to click on each of them and delete them, because we are going to add in some pictures on the side. I'm going to keep our wave and our pretty flowers though. So going to elements, we're going to find a frame that we like, and we're going to add it on the side. So either just search for frame or specific frame you're looking for. We're going to go to the frames category, click see all, and then there's all these different shapes, and you can use any of these drag and drop style, or click it, drag it around and edit it in your design. So I'm going to use just a basic circle. So once it pops up, I'm going to drag it off to the side. And then here, these ones don't adjust the size. It's just the ones on the corner, because this will make it all wonky. I'm going to click back. This keeps the same dimensions. So I'm going to put our little bubble up here. I'm going to go back over onto this side to uploads. And then I can select a picture. If I click it, it'll just go into the design. If I drag it over to the frame, you see how it already automatically fits into the circle. I can let go, and there we have actual people instead of our graphics. And then if you want, like their shoes cut off down here, you can double click the picture, and then you can kind of reposition them to whatever you want in that field in the frame. Then to exit, I just click off the circle, and now they're repositioned. Her shoe isn't cut off anymore. So you can do that with any of the frames, and then we'll leave this here for now. As for the text, I don't want this, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Let's say we're just going to edit the text to double click in, and then I'm going to put my cursor over here. I'm from Bradenton, so we're going to do a home speech cleanup. And then the text here, you could either delete, or if you want to add something specific, maybe you're doing a sponsored event with somebody, you could add that in, create the text however you want. I do like the calendar and the location graphics, so I'll keep those. For this, again, you just double click into the text to edit. We're going to put January 25th. I don't like how they formatted this, so I'm going to get rid of it. 9 to 11 is when we do our cleanups. And then Palms Beach, which I do not know the address of. So all you have to do is add in your little embellishments for your event, add in your details, and you can use these templates. And it's a very quick and easy way to create a design without spending hours nitpicking things. I find myself doing that if I'm creating it from scratch. I just start going through all these little design elements, all the graphics, all the recommendations. And if you don't want pictures of actual people, you want to do graphics, we can delete our people, go back to our elements, and let's search marine animals. And I'll give you a bunch of different options. So maybe you just didn't like the graphics that were on that template. You can find some that fit your vibe, fit what that you're going to. We have this cute little turtle. We can add him in here. And then your turtle's kind of crawling away from the page. If you want to, you can start editing those graphics up here. So we can flip him. So we flip horizontal. Now he's crawling towards the cleanup. Looks a little bit more inviting. You could flip him vertical, but then he'd be dead. So we're going to flip him back this way. But flip horizontal, there's a lot of different ways to edit those graphics in here. So let's go ahead and click edit right here. So we have background remover. He doesn't have a background, so we'll do that in a little bit with a different photo. We have magic eraser. So if you wanted to erase a fin for some reason, you could erase a fin. There's different filters for our turtle. We could change his color slightly if we wanted to. And special effects, we could give him a shadow, outline, angle. So it's really based on your vibe, what's behind him. Sometimes it's harder to see if it's white on a lighter background. You can always add a drop shadow in to emphasize the picture or the text. Let's go back here. There we go. And then the apps, once again, I haven't explored all the pro features yet now that we have it, but they have a bunch of apps available that also help you to edit those graphics and pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of here. Background remover we'll explore in a second. For your turtle, if you want him to maybe be your brand colors, we can click these little blobs and it'll edit our colors here. So let me zoom in on our turtle so we can see him a little better. So from our brand kit, our colors are already here on the left side. So if I wanted that dark blue to be KOB blue, if I want the shell, my computer is lagging. Okay. Hello. Hey, oh, he looks deadly. Maybe not. Wasn't sure. We can make him completely blue. Why is my computer taking 5 years to? There we go. So you can edit the colors here. You can use your branding colors, or we can keep him back to his original colors. He looked a little bit more lively. I apologize, my computer is taking 500 years. There we go. And then we have our border style. So we can, right now he does not have a border. We could create a border around there, adjust the width. Most of the time for these graphics, you do not need a border. If we have, let's go ahead and click on a different element here. If you have a shape. So if we wanted to add, let's zoom back out. Oops. If you wanted to add another little blurb up here, we have our rigid corners here. This just helps us to round out those corners. So you can do the same on images as well. If you have a photo that you want to add in the corner, this will just round out those corners. And then let's go back to our journal frame. So we have transparency here as well. So you can use this on shapes, use this on images, adjust how much we can see them or see through them. And then you can also animate. Most of the time I'm making flyers or images that are just static, so I don't use the animate functions. But
Hillary Burgess Smith, Keep Life Beautiful.
if you click on
Hi,
the
I'm glad I got a hold of you. I know we've been playing some phone tag.
affects your little turtle friend.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Pan into the side. So if you're doing presentation, these are really helpful for the animations as you have things that you're clicking through. Give it a little bit.
So for you to show up, if you guys want to pre-register.
And then you can also change the position. So right now, let's say I want to put our turtle here. I can send him backwards as well. So if I wanted him like under the waves, on top of the waves, it just affects where it shows up in the layers. Right here. So I'm going to go ahead, delete our turtle, delete our shape. We're going to practice making a design from scratch. So down here, we have our first slide, and we're going to add another Instagram post. So it already has a background color. I want to change it to our color. So I'm going to click on our square here and click on the color and add in the KOB blue. And then I'm gonna do like after a cleanup when you've already weighed all of the weight, just like a little like update post to Instagram where like, oh, we collected this many pounds of trash. So I'm actually gonna use a photo as our background. I'm gonna go to uploads and let's pick a group photo. I like this photo. So our photos here, I wanna make it the background. I'm just gonna drag it to the top, drag our corner. So that way I'm not using these sides because it just kind of distorts it this way. I'm gonna drag it to the side and reposition. Sorry, guy, you're not in the photo anymore. Perfect. And then if I were to add words on top, it'd be kind of hard to see. So I'm gonna do it to where we're gonna add a shape from elements. My mouse, please. Okay. What's going on? There we go. I'm gonna add this shape in. I'm gonna drag it to the top. I'm gonna cover them all up. Goodbye, volunteers. We're gonna go to our transparency effect. So here, I'm gonna take it. And we can still see them, but it's gonna be so much easier to read the actual text. I'm gonna leave it at 30. And then we'll come back to our left side here, come to our text tab. We're gonna add a heading. So again, if you had your brand kit set with your preferred fonts, you can click those, just using the generic one. This little cross arrows helps us to just drag it into place. And you'll notice as I drag things around, all these lines pop up. This just means it's in the middle. Now it's in the very center, so it's aligned horizontally and vertically. Or you'll notice I get it to hover or it pops up. Yes. There we go. So now we have that full box. That just means that's the dead center. If you just want to have your content in the middle of your page, they have that recommendation for you. So I'm going to put it right above here. So let's say we collected, I'm going to highlight 23,000 pounds of trash. And then I'm going to select all of my text. I'm going to put it in my preferred font, glacial indifference. And then you can either use the toggles on the side to decrease your font size or increase it, or you can type it. I'm going to select from here. Make it a little bigger. Perfect. And then I'm going to double click it to select all the text. I'm going to change the color of our font to white. And then you see how, let me zoom in. Without it zoomed, it kind of fades into the lighter water. I'm also going to add a drop shadow behind our text to make it pop even more. So I'm going to select all, go to our effects, and then add that shadow. And then you can see the shadow, zoom in again, is using that white color. I'm gonna come down here to our color wheel and I'm gonna select black. And it just gives it, it's just a lot easier to read against the light on light. So let me exit out of here, zoom back out. So we have our 23,000, gonna add a subheading. I'm gonna use our mover toggle, come on down here. Pounds of litter. Then you can do that same effect. Shadow, we're gonna change the color of the shadow to black. And then, oh, you're not in the center. There we go. So we have both of these centered right here. And then something I love about Canva, I'm gonna put that here. I'm gonna go ahead up here to duplicate. We don't need pounds of litter twice, but I just wanna show you as you're moving stuff around here, it keeps those lines and you can see, I wish you could see my actual hand. I need multiple mouses. So the little lines on the side of P and R for litter also tell you that you're aligned on either side here. But as I drag it around, those 31s pop up. That just means they're evenly spaced in between the 23,000 pounds of litter, So instead of like one being a little bit closer than the other, they're evenly spaced out. I use that function a lot on Canva. So we don't need the pants of litter actually. So I'm gonna get rid of it and I'm gonna scooch this one up a little bit. So you can use this as a social media post. You can make it a little bigger if you want to, using the side arrows as well. You don't have to use the font sizing up here. So let's go ahead. And then I'm going to use our branding kit to add our logo. We have our white logo here. I'm going to add to the side, and maybe it was a sponsored cleanup, so you want to add your sponsor's logo as well. You can upload it here. Upload file from your computer. I know we have some further down from our late cleanup series. You can make a Giving Tuesday post. So if we did it with like ideas for us, I could put their logo off to the side as well. So I'm gonna have it, there we go. Make it a little smaller. So as I line these up, you can see that dotted line means that I'm midway, that they're both aligned horizontally together for the logos. So from here, if you wanted to post this onto your Instagram or to your Facebook, you go to share, go to download, and then it'll give you all the download options for your file. So PNG, JPEG, and Canva is really nice. It gives you all the descriptions. This one's best for sharing, PDF, best for printing, one that's best for emailing. They got you covered on descriptions. So you would download it. Let's do JPEG, download. That's the toggle down here to tell you where it is, and it's complete, so it's downloaded. So from there, you could share that on your social media. So you could use this as how many pounds you collected for litter, thanking a sponsor. So if we wanted to change this text instead to thank you ideas for us, for, you know, sponsoring our cleanup or sponsoring our event, you can use Canva for literally everything, and it's wonderful. Let me hop back here. So we are at 143. Does anybody have questions or want me to go over any specific features on Canva?
You have one question in the chat. Want me to read it?
I got it.
Okay.
So I assume our communication department uses Canva in some capacity. What are some unique or new updates available that savvy users might find useful? So removing the background is something I've recently discovered now that we have it as a pro feature. So another thing I use often, I just drag my mouse over a bunch of features and then click delete if I want to get rid of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead. This is from our Trash to Trends event. She was very excited. All right, so I'm going to drag this into the middle. Background remover. If we click that, the AI computer magic does its thing. And it should just have her outlined. And her paper that she's putting. So then I could put this here, and then I could add some information about, oh, here's Trash to Trends is coming up, and it's just very helpful in removing it. Or if you have a bunch of volunteers, surely I have a volunteer picture. These kiddos, background remover. Any here now. Okay. I'm gonna have some volunteers down here. I could get these volunteers. You could keep using the background remover and have like a collage effect using all of the different like individual pieces of those pictures instead of having a collage with all the backgrounds as well, especially if they're all pictures from the same cleanup. If you're at a beach, it's probably a lot of that same background. Just kind of, I've seen a lot of more people using the collage effect recently, at least on social media. Are you able to change a logo from single color? Oh, get away. There we go. From single color white to single color black. On here, we can't change, if you're uploading a graphic, you can't change your graphic. I don't know if they have an app. Let's actually look. Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, this is Linda Bell. I asked that question. I've been using Sticker Mule to convert mine when I need to convert them. I just wondered if you could do it in Canva. I hadn't found any way to do it there.
Yeah, I know, because I've also been through that where like our little wetland graphic, where did it go? The video at the bottom. Oh, Brandon can. Oh, there it is. I wanted it in white and I was like, I don't think there's really a way. Yeah, it doesn't, because we are with the city of Orlando, so we are very fortunate that we do have a communications teams that helps us with a lot of our graphics, or I'm not supposed to use Canva, but it's fine. It's the nonprofit side. But so they make a lot of our graphics, so I don't have that editing software on our computers, but I don't think we can change it with a non-Canva graphic.
Yeah.
So it have to be changed somewhere else. Anybody have any other questions or features that they wanted to go over? Or Madison, is there anything else I didn't cover that you think is super useful?
Hey, Rain, this is Dwayne from West Palm Beach. I have a question about on how you use layers.
Layers. So for, let's see, like for this one, we have this color block here. You can see how it goes on top of that picture. We're going to use the positions here. And this is what's going to control what comes forward or what goes backwards. So I could bring it forward and now we have that well, I guess third layer technically, the 23,000, but these are still on top. I can bring it forward again. That one gets covered. So it's based on when you added the text on what goes on top of each other. And then if I want to send it to the back, it would go behind that picture. I'm going to bring it one forward back to where it originally was. So, and then I'm actually going to exit. I'll show you. I just learned how to do this and I used it a lot in our annual report. Let me go back to home. Annual report. There you are. So I used the layers function along with the background remover to have some of our people kind of pop out from our graphics. So like here, I have multiple layers going on. So the first one, let me throw these people up here. I have our picture. I have this graphic from Canva, which is our wave. I have it stationed right there. And then by adding this picture again, I remove the background. And then, there we go. And then I added the people on top in order to have them kind of pop out and look a little bit fancier. But
That's really cool. Thank you.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
How did you cut it out so like their heads were cut out, but like not the bottom.
So I used the background remover on it. So it kept part of the, oh,
Oh,
I ended up, I think I used the recovery tool, which, let me, oop, wrong scroller. There we go. I'm gonna add a page real quick. So if you are doing, let's go to uploads. Our girl's right here. I'm gonna remove their background real quick. Let's zoom all the way out too. So the whole background is out, but if I wanted to keep some of the grass, I could go into edit and shoot, actually, how do I get there? I double click them. Madison, do you remember how to get to where you can recover part of the background?
Girl, I have never used that.
Aha, there we go. So for the background remover, so I'm going to start back from the beginning now that I'm refreshed. So I've removed their background. I'm going to click on that button again, and that'll toggle me to where I can restore parts of that image. So, or maybe I don't want this sticking out. I can use this, which is a little large. I'm going to squish it down a little bit more. And I can start erasing stuff that's showing up that I don't want to, if I want their outline to be a little bit more crisp. So I don't want her bag showing. Or I can click restore here. I'm gonna increase the size of the brush. And then I can start restoring some.
oh, okay, very cool.
Yeah. And then I'll always hit my back button if I don't like it. So I'm gonna click X to exit it. So now we have a fun little circles of grass. Any other questions on features, or you want to look at anything else, or want me to re-go over anything that wasn't clear? Yay! Good. I love Canva. It's such a fun tool. I've used it in all of my jobs. I've used it in my personal life, making a Christmas card, making a calendar, a photo book.
Can you make or not TikTok?
So this is everyone's chance to now they know that Rain is like a low-key expert. So when you're having trouble, just call her or email her with your questions. That's what this network is for.
Yeah, I
So
love it. Fun.
that's good.
There she is. Go
Oh,
get her.
and then there's her email address if you don't already have it. So Rain, are you and Madison going to KAB?
We are not.
No.
Okay. So they
Well,
won't be at KAB, but that's okay. All right. Anyone else have any questions before we let them go? Doesn't look like we do. Well, Rain, thank you so much for presenting. This was super helpful. I actually learned quite a bit, especially with all the stuff that you did at the end, moving and like making it darker and lighter. So yeah, that was really helpful. I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely gonna go back and watch it when I'm working on some different stuff. So, and Madison, thank you for letting us steal her to do this presentation, and for supporting her. We really appreciate you. I hope everyone has a really great weekend. And I wish I could show you my backyard or my front yard because I have a lot of snow still.
oh, that's
And it's
exciting.
like it's slowly melting, but barely. I honestly think I'm gonna have it for a few more days. So and there's still like the highway is closed for like a good bit because of all the black ice. Like they close it at night. Kenneth has a question. Kenneth?
Yes, this is just circling back on the free items. Is it too late to request specific items?
No, you can write in there and I'll see what I can do. So
Okay.
respond in there because I'm sure I'm going to be ordering more than what's listed there. Um but this is just kind of like the first round of stuff that I'm going to be ordering. So fill out that survey, and then there's like at the very bottom, there's like a thing that you can fill out whatever extra stuff you've got in your mind.
As you're aware, we do have, a number of illegal dumping sites that continue to have issues within our city. So if we had potentially branded signs, KFB signs, please don't drop trash here, pick up your litter, keep Florida beautiful.
Yeah.
That's another proactive approach we can use other than what will ultimately be surveillance cameras. And I'd rather not have as many as those. It'd be better having signs. So that's the thought.
Sure, definitely put that information in the survey, and I'll keep that in my back pocket. I think that's a great idea. Anyone else have any questions? No? Okay. Well, thank you again, Rain. Thank you, Madison. I hope everyone has a great week and a wonderful weekend. And I will talk to you all later.
Thanks, Ray.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Hey, great
Bye.
job. Thank you.